Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is your boy Mike from Miller Street Studios here in Chicago. And right now we're just gonna go over real quick a little Ableton. Just a little, you've been trying to make beats or you're interested or whatever the case is. I'm gonna just show you 2 little steps that you can do to get things cooking that you might find helpful. So we're gonna just touch on using some loops, and then we'll touch on using a little bit of MIDI. And yeah, so right now we're using a Splice kit, loop from Splice that we pulled in here. If you don't have Splice, and you just got Ableton, you could click on your samples tab and grab any of the many samples. You can go down to your packs. You can check out beat tools. You can check out samples in there. There's a lot of cool stuff. Obviously, loops and chords, not one shots. Because you're gonna be looking for a music loop, something with a couple measures to it. But yeah, let's go. So we just pulled this guy in, right? We just dragged him and we dropped him in. And now I'm playing. Here's a different one. There's 2 different samples. I'm not sure we'll use that top one. We'll probably definitely use this bottom one though. The snare sound that you're hearing, that is from the Splice VST, right? It's like a bridge app that allows you to connect the sounds that you're listening to in your Splice app to your DAW. And I think I have one playing in there, and that's why when I hit play on my transport on my DAW, it starts playing it in there. But that's fine because I want to use that sample, right? So let's say I want to build drums out of some samples in Splice. I don't want to use a loop for that, maybe I do, but in this instance, we're not going to do that. So I'm going to just pull in a blank drum rack, right? Instruments. Rack. Drop a blank one, right? Super simple. All right. And then we're going to go back to our Splice app. Now, again, if you're not using a Splice app and, you're trying to pull a sound in here, exactly what I said a minute ago, just go to your samples tab. You need a snare, type in snare, right? And all the snares will pop up. Go ahead and drop it in. Just in terms of throwing it in, you can move it around. It doesn't matter is what I mean. Just get it in there. All right, so we got a snare. We probably need a kick. So maybe from here, maybe we look for a kick in Ableton. Just there we go. That's cool. Those are kind of cool, Don't know if we'll use them, but let's just pull them in. And then let's see. Probably need like a hat or something. Little percussion. Yeah, there we go. It's a cool little percussion sample. So it's like any little sound that you think sounds cool, we're gonna throw it in. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Now, one thing you want to remember, if it's not just a one-shot sound, like if it's something that's got a little bit of a time to it, you might want to try warping it. Because that should keep it in time with your project. So anyone that's long, like this one as well. Now again, sometimes it sounds cool without the warp on. You got to try it, man. Anybody that tries to tell you that this is the way to do anything is full of shit, because it's not the truth. There's a million ways, and that's why art is fun. That's why music is art, right? Because if there was just a way to do it, it wouldn't be art, right? You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. There's structures to everything, and there's like a basic understanding and ways to go about stuff, but there's just no one way to do things, And if you learn in a one-way fashion, it's going to be difficult to do anything other than that, unless you just get it in your mind from the jump that there is no one way, right? So you're going to have to testify, you're going to have to try things out. So anyway, we got those in there, so cool. So now we could do one of 2 things, right? Like we could trigger these drums with our keyboard on our computer. If we have a MIDI keyboard, we could trigger them with that. But just for right now, let's say we got none of that. We're just using our mouse. We're just going to double click in there, give ourselves a MIDI clip. And now those are all our sounds, right? And if we want to hear them, we can click on that little headphone. All right, so I'm going to just put a kick down, put a snare on the 2 and the 4, and let's just take a listen and kind of see. right, this one's off. All right. Let's make our loop 2 bars. So like with that one, maybe we don't need it worked. So with that one also, we're gonna have to pull it back just a little bit because the timing of it, it's coming in a little early. Yeah, I think it sounds better without it, right? So now we'll just go in here, maybe mess with the pitch of this one a little bit. Maybe put this over the beat. Cool. And then now we'll just grab some hi-hats, right? So we'll just type in here, hats. And we're actually gonna go down to our packs for this one. Whatever, right? Let's just see. Cool. So now we just make a duplicate, right? We just duplicate or Command D. Now on this one, we're gonna turn these guys off. With this one also, let's click on the header here so we engage everything. Basically select all, and then we're just gonna duplicate loop. That way we can make a little change. All right, and then we'll just duplicate that one too. And maybe we don't even want the rolls on that one. So let's just take our loop and pull it in. Now, let's just go in here real quick and fix the groove of this drum because it does sound a little bit, not smooth, not cool. So we'll just go to our groove pool, go to hip hop. I like that loose flow. Put the same thing on these hats. Yeah, much better, much better. All right, now we can pull in that sample. All right, duplicate it, and maybe on this one we'll pitch it down a whole octave. Dope. So now we need to grab like a bass. So we could either find a sample or we could throw something in. It might be easier in the beginning for y'all to just find a sample, other than try playing something in. But if you want to play something in, it's super easy too. And we could one of the many, they got some boom 808s, right? same thing with that bass, right? Let's just pull in, double click to get one. Put that A in there. Obviously, it's a little high for the bass, so I'm gonna hold shift, arrow down. All right, so that's kind of simple there. Let's go ahead and make this a 4-bar loop. Now you just start playing around with like the setup of them, right? Like we maybe even take one more of these, this low one, and maybe go to our audio effects, do a little kind of classic gating to it, toss a gate on there. We're gonna turn that gate off real quick, and then we're just gonna double click on the clip. And because that was the last thing we hit, it's gonna be the first line here, and we'll just turn it on. Basically what that is, just automating that gate, so that way that gate is only going to be on when that clip is clicked. And then what we'll do is we'll pull the threshold down a bit, and we will sidechain it to drums. Just the kick. And maybe when that happens, it'll be cool to have some like extra reverb. Right, so I'm gonna click on that reverb. I'm not gonna turn it, I'm just gonna click on it. I'm gonna go back, excuse me, I'm gonna go back to that clip, and same deal, right? In my automation lane, because that was the last thing I clicked, it's gonna be here for. All right, so I got these 4 things playing. They sound kind of cool. I'm gonna just give myself a little space right here. You know, either click on the one below it or one right there, and you're gonna right click and you're gonna do capture and insert scene. You can also Command Shift I to do this. And what that does, it takes everything that was playing and it makes it into a scene. You know, like maybe that one was kind of cool. Maybe we do one where like that on that bass. I'm gonna just name it so that way we don't get too, you know, and if something like that works, I'm gonna come down to that one, Command Shift I, Control Shift I, whatever works. That one's kind of cool. All right, and then maybe if I just want one plain one by itself, I bring it there. Excuse me. So I hit that, it's gonna stop everything. Now I can easily just click on this first scene. I can use my mouse and my enter key to start them, or I could just click on the play button. Stop it for a sec. I'm gonna go ahead and just hit record. We're just gonna let that roll. We can pay attention to this pie chart that's letting you know when that loop is about to hit its start point. I think I may have forgotten to leave myself one without a gate on it, so I'm gonna pull this guy in. then we're just gonna try that one more time. All right. So you see, we got ourselves a little beat here. Now, if you thought you were just gonna come on for the first time and you were gonna learn everything it takes to make yourself a hit, you have been foolishly mistaken, my friend. And anybody that's trying to sell you that snake oil is trying to foolishly mistake you, my friend. So I'm just trying to give it to you real, man. You gotta do little things like this to get comfortable with the DAW. Doesn't matter what DAW you're using. You gotta do what it's made to do at first so you understand it. And like I tell my students, once you get bored with the level that you're at, you would just evolve. Like it's nature, right? You're gonna get better because you're an artist and you're bored. So you're gonna find ways to manipulate things in cooler fashions, right? So I hope this was good. I hope y'all enjoyed. Have fun. Peace out.